Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I'm sitting here in the Sente office, the Sente lab, and we get to just talk everything about this brand today. And I love this brand. You guys have heard me talk about it so much. The products are truly amazing. The science and technology behind this brand is so great. And I am so excited to sit here today and we're gonna talk everything about, ingredients. I am sitting here today with Lori. She is the Global Director of Education, and she is gonna share the background of this brand today. So kind of tell us, how did Sente start and the products and everything?
So we've been on the market now since about 2014. We started knowing that the skin needs more hydration, and that hydration is actually the key to controlling inflammation, helping the cells communicate with one another, and just maintaining balance in the skin. There was an ingredient that we know in the skin called heparin sulfate. It's endogenous in the skin. It is necessary in the skin for hydration, for controlling inflammation, and for that cell-to-cell communication that's really, really important in skin health. And we thought, how do you get heparin sulfate replenished in the skin? As it turns out, it depletes very quickly out of the skin, even when we're young, and you have to be able to replenish it. So what the founders of Sente did was to create an analog of endogenous heparin sulfate called heparin sulfate analog, right? So the whole company started with the premise that here's this great ingredient called heparin sulfate analog. We did figure out how to get it into a topical formulation. You apply it to the skin, you get the absorption that you need, and you see the results that you want. And we hit the market in 2014 with our first product, which was Dermal Repair Cream, and it's still in our line today.
That was your first product?
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I love that product.
I know. And it's, it's the flagship product. It's the one that everybody talks about.
So tell us about it, because that ingredient is something completely different than, what we normally hear in the skincare world with ingredients, the HSA, that's so different. So explain kind of, that's like what Sente is known for, that ingredient.
Yeah. So HSA, like I said, we talk about all of the ingredients that are in skincare, all of the things that we do to help correct the signs of aging, whether it's an antioxidant, a peptide, glycolics, retinoids. Your skin needs those things, but they're really all addressing the outward signs of aging in some way. And what we know is that one of the inner causes of the visible aging that you see is loss of cell function and loss of the skin's ability to maintain hydration and loss of the cell's ability to communicate with one another. So by creating HSA, which is an analog, it's a copy, if you will, of endogenous HS, we're able to replenish deep hydration to control.
And that's something that's found naturally in the skin.
So
said, right?
HS, endogenous HS,
right.
Yep, it's natural in your skin. HS is actually one of the hydrators in your skin that's responsible for coating the cells, keeping them plump, keeping them hydrated, filling the space between the cells to keep the mattress of your skin firm. Right. And it's also responsible for cell-to-cell communication. So in the skin, you actually have heparin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, dermatin sulfate, keratin sulfate, and they're in the family with another very well-known hydrator, which is hyaluronic acid, right? So they're all really good at binding water on the skin. The big difference with the sulfated gags, especially with the heparin sulfate, is that it binds water in the skin. It has the ability to do more than hyaluronic acid does, but they're all great at binding water in and on the skin.
Right, interesting, so cool. So, okay, so tell me about Sente, like as a brand. They are, they're going to deeply hydrate your skin, but they're also going to talk about like how they anti-age at the same time. It's not just hydration.
Right. That's a really good question. I think we try to equate like hydration with just hydration, but what is that hydration, the cell's ability to stay hydrated, the cell's ability to communicate with one another, the cell's ability to stimulate new collagen and elastin is all key to anti-aging, right? So we get that question a lot actually in the skincare industry is your product anti-aging? And my answer is always yes.
Right.
It's certainly not aging, right? It's definitely anti-aging. But if you think about the signs, the outward signs of aging, what is it? Dehydration, that loss of firmness, the crepey, sagging skin, fine lines and wrinkles, redness, hyperpigmentation, all of those signs of aging all can be helped by improvements in hydration. So yes, hydration is one of the components to anti-aging that your skin needs. It's been overlooked for a very long time, I think, in skincare, right? Because what I said earlier, we look at the outward signs of aging. Oh, you need an antioxidant. Oh, you need a peptide. I do, but I also really, really need that hydration back in my skin, and that's where Sente comes in. We know that you have to have that deep hydration in the skin to control the inflammation, to protect collagen and elastin from breaking down.
I always talk about on my channel about inflammation, how we do not want inflammation in our skin. It's like a huge factor in aging. So that's the one thing that I know, Senté is so big about is, knocking out inflammation at the same time.
Yeah, it's funny that for years and years, nutrition talks about inflammation, right? You talk about like an anti-inflammatory diet or, taking anti-inflammatory not medications, but supplements. And we've never equated that with aging in the skin. What does inflammation do in my skin? And now we know. Inflammation, that redness you see on the skin, is a sign that the inflammation is already taking place in your skin.
Right.
And once you see the redness, the damage is already happening.
Right.
You're already destroying collagen. You're already destroying elastin. And then the next step from there is, visible fine lines and wrinkles, loss of elasticity, and hyperpigmentation, which is something that you definitely want to avoid.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the symptoms and what you see on your skin when you have sensitive skin or, rosacea prone skin, all of that, the inflammation. What do you see what are the signs on your skin?
So on the skin, I think it's really frustrating. I think more and more people are seeing inflammation, right, on their skin. And it can come from anything. It can come from, a lot of people think not drinking enough water and you become dehydrated, but it really is, a lot of it's environmental. A lot of it is our lifestyles. Do you do hot yoga, right? Do you do hot yoga wearing a mask? Have you been traveling a lot in this past year wearing a mask? There are so many things that can cause that redness that happens on your skin. So, I say that to say, don't think that it won't happen to you or it's not a concern, but also don't panic if it does. It can be addressed really easily. What happens is that we know that sensitive skin doesn't have the ability necessarily to hold on to water as well as skin that's not sensitive. So it's sort of a cycle, right?
Yeah.
You have sensitive skin, you get some irritation on the surface of your skin. That irritation causes some more inflammation. The inflammation then damages the skin's barrier function a little bit more. And then what happens? More irritation, more dehydration. It's this cycle, and you're like, how do I get out of that cycle? Because I just really don't like what's happening to my skin right now. So it is just a vicious cycle of loss of barrier function, dehydration, irritation, and you have to be able to repair that. So anybody that has sensitized skin, maybe they have rosacea, maybe they have acne, or maybe they've been using a huge skincare regimen geared at oily skin and they're over drying their skin. That happens a lot.
But you're just ripping apart your skin barrier constantly.
Totally ripping apart your skin barrier. And I think one of the first signs is I put on a product and it stings.
Yes, exactly. Right? I just did a whole video talking about that. It's just, that shows you right there that your skin barrier is damaged. And the key to a healthy, younger glowing skin is a healthy skin barrier. So that's like one of the main things that I think people don't realize, that to get truly glowing, youthful skin, you have to have a healthy skin barrier. And there's so many people that are just ripping their skin barrier apart all the time, and it's just not, it's not helping anything.
It's totally the opposite. Like you said, we at Sente, our big goal is for everybody to have healthy, even, glowing skin. And it's a lot easier than you think. I think we've spent a lot of time over the past 10 to 20 years in skincare trying to peel away the damage, laser off the damage, microneedle away the damage. And there's certainly a place for all of that in your regimen. But what we know now is that you have to be kinder to your skin and you have to give it back the hydration. Doing a chemical peel does not give your skin back its hydration. Doing a laser treatment actually pulls water out of the skin. So it has to be this really nice balance of a controlled injury, like a laser treatment, that stimulates repair, and then your skin loses some water, and then you replenish that with your skincare regimen, and it's maintaining balance in your skin. So typically the first sign is put something on your skin, it burns more than usual. When I used to work in an office, clients would come in and say, I can't use anything, everything burns my skin, that's your first clue that the barrier function is compromised. Then you start to see the redness. Then you know that your skin is dehydrated as well. So you have to break that cycle. And you can break it by using a good regimen. And I think what always happens is that people are using too many products, or they're just using the wrong products. So I think the really important message for anybody is don't get frustrated with what you're using. Don't give up. You might be using the wrong things, but healthy skin is for everybody. You just have to sometimes stop and look at what you're using, right? So our whole line is designed specifically for that, for balance, for hydration, and to give people back just healthy, even skin.
Right. All your products promote a healthy skin barrier.
Yeah. Exactly. Every single one of them. And that's the first thing you have to do. Like if you don't learn anything else, give your skin what it needs, right? Give it back its healthy barrier. It will respond to everything better. It will receive everything better, and you will look better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you have a healthy skin barrier, your lines and wrinkles look minimized. Like everything just looks so much more youthful. So, and that's like I said, I talk about that all the time because people like literally don't understand what a healthy skin barrier, like what that means, you know. So
it's so important. You start there, right? Just start there. If your skin is dry, if it's stressed, if it's dehydrated, if everything burns, stop everything you're doing. Take one product that is hydrating and soothing, and use that only until everything subsides, and then start over.
Yeah, because you can rebuild your skin barrier. It's a process, but you can we can all get there.
Yeah, but continuing to like pile things on or try to peel it away,
inflammation,
or
constantly doing the things that inflame your skin.
It just gets worse. So it's usually do the opposite of what you're doing right now, and that'll get you back to where you need to be.
Okay, so let's talk about the products. We'll kind of go through, a little bit about each one, but let's start out with some of my favorite products. So like I said, these products truly make a difference in your skin. Your skin is just going to be so much healthier with them. When I test out products that I want to bring on my site personally, I always see how my skin responds, and I'm very picky, and I'm very in tune with my skin, so I can tell, when something's really working, and these products truly work, and they actually work really quickly too. Your skin will respond. So let's talk about this. I mean, the dermal repair. That is like my favorite. I have it on today. I love it so much. I use it like pretty much every single day. Share a little bit about the dermal repair.
I love it. Dermal repair cream is, like I said earlier, it was our first product. It's still here. The formula has changed slightly. It has, more of the active ingredient than it used to when we first formulated it. It has the heparin sulfate analog in it. It has a little green tea, which gives it some nice like antioxidant activity. It is a very soothing, hydrating cream. Anybody can use it. And that's the great thing about it.
Yes, exactly. And it's perfect for rebuilding the skin barrier, because I know that it helps with that. It really brings down redness, all of that.
That's what I really like about it, is that you can add it to any regimen. Let's say that you already have a regimen at home and you want to add in moisture, hydration. You can add it into your regimen. The active ingredients don't interfere with anything else that you're already using, which I think is really important, right? To just be able to add in the hydration that you get with HSA without interfering with anything else in your regimen, but you'll see the difference. Like you said, you'll see increased hydration in about 2 weeks, and it shows up on the surface of your skin as just more luminosity and just less stressed looking skin. Which is really cool.
And the thing that I find about the dermal repair too, it's not just like a typical moisturizer. It's not, it's really not. It's really anti-aging, and you're going to see huge results. Like I said, I'm prone to like redness in my skin, and it really helps with the redness and just really plumping your skin, because you're getting that such, deep level hydration.
Yep, I think that's, that's the thing that people think, is that like a moisturizer or a hydrator are separate to anti-aging, but no, it's all the same. You have to have the hydration to get the anti-aging benefits that you want. So with that one, you get the soothing, you get the deep hydration, you get this really nice like calming sensation on the surface of your skin, which I think is really important, and that's something that's missing in a lot of skincare products, and certainly missing for people that have a compromised barrier function. It's also, that one in particular can be used after a non-ablative laser treatment, after microneedling, because again, you need to be able to put back the moisture into your skin that those treatments are pulling out.
And build that barrier back.
Yeah,
I love that. Like I said, it's good for all skin types, dry skin. I have more oily skin. It just sinks right into your skin. It's not heavy. It's amazing.
Yeah, and the great thing even with oily skin, because I have oily skin too, is that oily skin has a tendency to over manufacture sebum. The reason it does that sometimes is because you're dehydrated on the inside.
Yeah.
So if you can replenish hydration on the inside, it sort of normalizes the excess oil production that you see with oily skin.
Right.
So it doesn't obviously dry your skin out if you're oily, but it just normalizes, and you see that you don't have those weird surges of oil at certain times of the day that you usually have.
Yeah,
when you
like
have oily
balances.
skin.
It balances everything. Yeah.
Love it. Love
Yep.
it.
So I love that dermal repair. And then the newest one that I want to talk about next is the Ultra Nourish, because that's the one you guys just released not that long ago. And oh my God, it's so good.
I know.
I literally tell everyone about this product. I love it.
I know. It's like, this was my favorite until this, and now I don't know what to do. Right?
It's like daytime, nighttime. Yeah.
All
but
the
then
time.
you can use the Ultra Nourish during the day too, right? If you have more dry skin.
Yeah, you totally can. Because
Okay.
the texture is slightly different. Dermal Repair Ultra Nourish is really cool. I love it. It contains the heparin sulfate analog. But then for people who still need more moisture on the surface of the skin, which is a lot of people, right? It has this lipid blend, cholesterol, ceramides, fatty acids that mimics the skin's barrier, the lipid barrier, and helps restore more of that moisture on the surface of the skin. So you get the deep hydration, you get the calming and the soothing of the inflammation, you get the improvements in the visible redness, and then you get this really nice moisture on the surface of the skin. The texture's different, right?
It's like silky.
Yeah,
it feels
very
like silk.
silky.
Yeah.
So it's the way it's made is a silicone and water emulsion. So when you put it on, you feel almost the texture kind of change a little bit when you're applying it. It goes from thick to this really like
smooth,
nice,
like light, like
smooth,
silky
texture.
And that's another one. Like I use that at night all the time, and it's so hydrating, like deeply hydrating, but it's light on the skin still, which is so amazing. Usually when you're piling on like a night cream or something, it's usually heavier and thicker and stuff. Like this is so deeply hydrating, but just light.
You know, that's the thing that I think we've come to learn again, is that for so long we equated needing a lot of moisture with this really thick cream, and everybody liked the feeling of a thick moisturizing
they thought it was
cream.
more hydrating that way.
Right? And it's just not.
Right.
It's technology that hydrates, not the thickness of a product.
Right.
So it is very hydrating, very moisturizing, incredibly soothing. It can be used after non-ablative laser treatments and microneedling too, right? So you have options. Are you dry? Are you incredibly dry? And then that's when you use Dermal Repair Ultra Nourish. Or if you're like us, you use Dermal Repair Cream in the day, Dermal Repair Ultra Nourish at night.
Right. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, so amazing. And I wake up with glowing, plump, amazing skin.
I know, it's perfect. I love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Contour Press Serum next, because that's the one we're going to go to the lab next and we're going to make. So let's talk about that one.
Dermal Contour Press Serum. So, you pick one of your dermal repair creams, and then do you need more firmness? And most of us do, and if you don't yet, you will. So add it in. Dermal Contour Press Serum contains heparin sulfate analog, again, which is our primary analog, but then it contains a combination of DSA and CSA. Those are analogs of two of the other glycosaminoglycans I mentioned earlier. So they're analogs of dermatan sulfate and chondroitin sulfate. What they do is to bind more water to the ends of collagen and elastin to keep it from being destroyed, to keep it from degrading, and it just helps to help your dermis pack that really nice, neat, orderly dermis so that you get the firming.
Right. Yes, because that is a very firming, tightening serum. Yeah.
So you get the water pulled in by the HSA, and then DSA and CSA pack it on the collagen and elastin and help you firm from within.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great product. It also contains a little niacinamide, right? And it has some peptides in it, so you get a little peptide activity as well to up the firming that you get from it.
Okay.
And then you use either Dermal Repair Cream or Dermal Repair Ultra Nourish with it, because again, it has a different texture. It's a serum, right? It's not a
super
cream.
light. Yep.
Right, super light. So you get that internal hydration and firming that you need, and then you finish that off with one of the dermal repairs for the surface moisture.
Barrier,
and just the plumping that you want to see in your skin.
Right.
Love it.
And now, just talking about the inflammation and building the skin barrier and stuff with the dermal repair and all of these, I know I've seen the clinical studies that you guys have done, and it shows, within a couple of weeks, this underneath the redness, how it has decreased so much. It's so interesting. Yeah.
It's, it's hydration, right? When you talk about why is my skin so red and irritated, it's the amount of inflammation in your skin, and your cells just need hydration. So in a lot of the before and after pictures, especially with Dermal Repair Ultra Nourish, we see noticeable improvements in the amount of redness on the skin in 2 weeks.
Right. It's phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the vitamin A products next, because those are unique as well.
Yep. So in my mind, everybody needs a retinoid, right?
Yes,
and I know
right.
you use one all the time. I use one all the time.
Yep.
You have to have one in your regimen for everything that the HSAs do. For the pathway that they reach in anti-aging, you still have to have a retinoid. It does something different. It stimulates new collagen synthesis in your skin and gives you that fresh, again, plump surface that you want to see. So we have two, because we work a lot with people that have very sensitive or dry skin. We have BioComplete serum, which is for people that have dry skin. It's a low level of retinol. It has a retinol ester in it that converts very slowly. It also has the heparin sulfate analog, and it has a little hyaluronic acid for surface moisture too.
Right, so that's for like super sensitive skin.
Very sensitive. It's for people that are like really sensitive or have said over the years, oh, I can't use a retinoid.
Like,
the last one I used burned my face, nothing worked.
Yeah.
But it also just, for people that are like older, that have that loss of elasticity, that have the loss of hydration, where you see that their skin is very sensitive and is not going to be able to tolerate a lot, BioComplete serum definitely fits into their regimen, because you get the hydration and you get the repair that you want from the retinol.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then by contrast is Intensive BioComplete cream.
Right.
That is a 0.5% retinol. And I say that's for people that have been using a retinol for a very long time. They want to switch. Maybe they want to see another change in their skin. And that one is really ideal for people that have a lot of visible damage, right? More advanced environmental damage, coarse skin, thick wrinkles, hyperpigmentation. But again, with that, you see really, really nice noticeable improvements in just clarity, firmness, surface in 4 weeks.
Right, and that's a great vitamin A for people who, it has a lot of other like soothing ingredients in it too. So it's like the formulation of it is not going to like, again, inflame your skin, tear your skin barrier apart, anything like that.
No, because it has a DSA and CSA in it.
Right.
So if you think about the person that needs retinol and that needs that level of correction, they'll benefit from the retinol, but then they also need the firming that they get from the DSA
Which
and
is
CSA.
huge, right? So it's anti-aging all around. The formulation is just amazing.
Yep, great formula.
Yeah, for sure. That one's good. And then what else do we have? We have the cleansers.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about the eye cream next, because I love the eye cream.
I know. So dark circles. Do you know anybody that has dark circles? I know, right? I don't anymore. Illuminate is formulated for dark circles in the eye area.
Okay.
Heparin sulfate analog, again, strengthens the skin, strengthens the barrier, brightens the skin in the eye area. So it's been around for a few years now. We had another eye product that we reformulated, just created a whole new product. And it is really ideal for the fine lines and wrinkles, but also addressing all of the colors that contribute to the dark circles.
Oh, okay.
So there's red, blue, and brown, right?
Right.
There can be hyperpigmentation, it could be environmental, it could be allergies, it could be genetic, and very few eye products address all of the colors that make up that dark circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Illuminate does an incredible job with that.
Interesting. That is an amazing eye cream. It's, again, so light and silky, like beautiful under makeup, just soaks into your skin. Oh, I love it. So good.
Yep, love it.
Yeah.
And then the cleansers.
Yep, cleansers.
2 cleansers. If I'm putting together a skincare regimen for someone and they only want so many new products today, I'm like, go for the core. Go for the things that make the difference, right? You need a retinol. You need a dermal repair. You probably need dermal contour press serum. You have to have a sunscreen. Cleansers, like if you already have a cleanser at home, use it up, right? What's important in a cleanser is that it gets your skin clean, preps your skin for everything else you're going to put on it, doesn't irritate your skin, right? So whatever works for you in a cleanser, or strip your skin, strip it. And that's what I really like about ours. The Daily Soothing Cleanser gets the skin clean. It's this really interesting kind of like milky texture.
It's gentle,
It's very gentle, but it emulsifies the makeup off of your skin, gets your skin clean, but it leaves moisture back on the skin. It has some really cool ingredients in it that soothe the skin, cool the skin, and get everything clean without overdrying, which is super cool.
And it's good for all skin types too.
It's good for all skin types.
Right.
Like whether you have oily skin, dry skin, sensitive skin, if that's the texture that you like and you want your skin clean, but you don't want to feel that tightness from over stripping, that's, that's
Which you should never feel that tightness.
You should never. People think that's a great idea. People are like, oh, my skin, I love it when it feels tight right after I cleanse my face. I'm like, no, you don't. No, that's not good. Like that's not normal, and you should never feel that. Don't change cleansers if you feel super dry and tight after you wash your face. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And the other one is exfoliating cleanser.
I love that one.
Gel-based cleanser. I know,
Yeah.
glycolic acid, phytic acid, galactoarabinin. So you get this really nice exfoliation, cell turnover, no irritation.
No, it's so gentle, but it's so like, it like leaves your skin glowing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that's, you know, for people that wear a lot of makeup, maybe going towards the summer, right? Makeup, sunscreen, you know how those like work together on your face, and you need to really cleanse at the end of the day. And also people that have a lot of visible damage, right? So if you need that exfoliation from your cleanser, again, if you have coarse lines and wrinkles, if you have bad texture, that's your cleanser.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, love it.
Yep.
You can even, some people use both. Some people
Totally.
use that twice a week.
I do. I always have in my bathroom an exfoliating cleanser and then a more gentle, like hydrating cleanser, and I always switch it up. Always.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, if you work out, right? If you go to hot yoga, you can't come home and like cleanse your face 8 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. With the same exfoliating
with
cleanser.
an exfoliating cleanser.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
At all, ever. So I definitely have a soothing cleanser for those moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love them. Okay,
Oh, good.
perfect.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Awesome. I know.
And then let's finish off with the SPFs, because we all
SPF.
need to be using SPF every day.
Yeah, you have to use sunscreen. How many people ask you, what's the one anti-aging product that I have to have? Sunscreen,
yeah.
right?
I always say there's never just one, because
There's never one.
Just one,
Right, there's never one.
Sunscreen is a huge one. You
It is a
cannot do without your
must.
sunscreen.
No,
because you
you
can do
can't.
everything else in order and have the best products, but if you're not using sunscreen every day, it's not, you know.
You're undoing,
Yeah.
like you're undoing all your good
Yeah.
work. I've seen some really amazing before and afters over the years, just studies of people using sunscreen for a year.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Like, I don't think we think about every time you go out in the sun hits your skin, stimulates melanin production, dehydrates your skin just a little bit, stimulates a little more damage. So without sunscreen, it doesn't matter what else you're using, you're undoing your own good work.
Right, exactly.
So come on, wear a sunscreen.
And sunscreens are amazing nowadays too, you know, like when you have a good sunscreen, you can find one for any skin type, tinted, sheer, you can find one that works.
Anything. We have two. And we give you options, right? One's tinted, one's untinted.
Yep.
The untinted is an SPF 49. The tinted is an SPF 52. They're all physical. They have 11.15% zinc oxide, like 5.7% titanium dioxide. They have a blue light filter that protects your skin
Which
from
is huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, have you
Yeah.
looked at yourself in the past year after you sat in front of a computer screen for so long?
Computers, cell phones, all of that.
All of that. So it has a blue light filter, which is really great for protecting you from the damage that we know we get from those appliances. It also has a pollution shield in it, which is a biosaccharide film
And that's huge
that
too.
catches pollution particles. And that was something that I learned a couple of years ago. I never knew, right? I'm so proud of myself. I've worn sunscreen all day, every day, my whole life, thinking this is great. And when I wash my face, everything comes off my face. Then I realized or learned that there are particles in pollution that stick to your skin every day. And that it can cause irritation just on the epidermis, like in the pores, and that irritation leads to inflammation. And there you are again, right? So pollution shield is just invisible biosaccharide film in the sunscreens that just literally catches all the gunk that's in pollution when you're outside every day. When you cleanse your face, you're literally washing away the day.
That's so amazing. Yeah, because people do not realize about pollution at all, how it's so damaging for your skin.
No, they don't. And I always think about, I think about cities, right, and buses. What always comes to mind is like bus fumes and the pollution that's actually in the bus fumes when you're standing there, you know, waiting for
it's all stuck on
it
you.
to go out. Yeah.
You can see it. Yeah.
That's a brilliant visual.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
that's
that.
so good. I mean, that's why I love the sunscreens though, because they do have, and you cover all the bases of what you need to be protected from.
Yeah, it's super important. And then, and it also has 2 antioxidants in it. It has a yeast extract and a cactus extract that protect your skin from like UVA, UVB, infrared even more, right? To back up the efficacy of the sunscreen itself. And then those antioxidants are also found in Ultralight Defense Moisturizer, which is our just super lightweight, daily antioxidant moisturizer. Has the same 2 antioxidants in it, and it's just great for people that want a little more antioxidant protection under their sunscreen. It's super easy to make a regimen out of this, right?
For sure.
People are always saying, oh, I'm too busy to take care of my skin, it's too many steps, I won't do it. And I don't know how long it takes you, but honestly, I can throw on my entire skincare regimen in about 5 minutes.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Same, yeah. It doesn't take long.
It is not rocket science. And if it was rocket science, I wouldn't be doing it. So it's really
you just got to get the right products, the right order, and
just
you're done. Yeah.
Right, just get on with it.
Yep.
So I think like knowing that you probably only need 3 or 4 solid products in the day, and at night, a small, a small skincare line meets your needs very easily because our active ingredients are multifunctional, right?
Yeah.
HSA addresses hydration in the skin, helps the cells communicate with each other, downregulates your inflammation. And then when you restore that balance to your skin, it can repair itself. So it's about supporting repair from within. And when you can do all of that with a limited number of ingredients and a limited number of products, you get the success that you want in your regimen pretty easily.
Right, exactly. Like I said, I know I've seen results with these. I know other people who swear by them as well. They're just such an amazing product lineup for, for any skin type, but specifically for people who really need to, build that skin barrier. Skin barrier is so important for healthy skin. We all need to have a, functional, glowing skin barrier. So your products definitely do that. I love that. Now we're going to head over to the lab and make some contour serum.
Yay!
All right, guys, so we're in the Senté lab. This is where all the Senté magic happens. And we're here with the formulator, one of their formulators. This is Grace. And she's going to tell us all about what they do, what you do daily.
Yeah, so here we have an example of our Dermal Contour Press Serum. So typically here we take 6 to up to 18 months to develop products. And in that process, we're doing extensive research on active ingredients and different product forms, serums, moisturizers, depending on the product that we're going for. So yeah, so here we have our oil phase going, and we have some of our actives in here, and we have a polymer that's pre-dispersing. You can see it mixing in here. And over here we have, I'm gonna turn this on, our water phase mixing. And I've already included our HSA and our, which is our heparin sulfate, and our dermatin sulfate and chondroitin sulfate. These are the products in their natural form. As you can see, they're a powder form.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So these are actually water dispersible. So I've already included them in here. They do take some time to mix in, so I've done that prior.
Right.
Yeah. Also in the water phase here, we have our peptides and our other active ingredients that are put in there to hydrate and firm the skin. So now we can add our oil phase into our water phase. And I'm gonna need your help with this.
Sure.
So. The old school mechanical mixers here. Okay. So you can just take this and pour it slowly into the vortex, which is the
middle part there?
Yeah. Kind of looks like a hurricane. And what we're doing here is we're incorporating the oil into the water. And we'll take my best friend, the spatula, and get the rest of the polymer out of there. Just kind of. And then we're going to move over to the homogenizer. So the homogenizer I'm going to turn on, it's going to get kind of loud. But what we're doing here is we're breaking down the particle size, and it's going to create an emulsion. The homogenizer helps to stabilize emulsions, and it also helps to promote active ingredient delivery. And you can see as it goes, it turns into that nice milky emulsion serum.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. So we're basically forcing the oil into the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sorry. Most serums are kind of drying in a way. But this press serum has a ton of ingredients to add moisturization and to improve your barrier, skin barrier. So
It's hydrating.
it's very hydrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that serum is the best.
Yeah, do you
I
like
love
it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like so firming and it's so good for your skin. I love it. Just gonna take that whole thing and just
Bathe in it. And so once this is all together, and you can see it's nice and smooth. Turn it off here. We have one more ingredient to add. I'm kind of making a mess.
So when you're formulating, you're constantly, it's like trial and error, right? You're like trying different ingredients together. You know what the outcome you want to be is, but then you like have to figure out how to formulate and put all the ingredients together so that they stay stable and all of that, right?
And formulating is kind of like a mix between art and science because you want to have that end feel. You want to have that nice, you don't want it to be sticky or,
Right.
So you want to make sure that you have the aesthetics correct. So it is a lot of trial and error as far as how much oil you want to put in there or how much, glycerin or, so it's definitely a process.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So how many like trial and errors have you gone through to make, say, like the contour dermal?
This formula, I think, took about 20 different versions of the formulation. Yeah, I've worked on formulas where we've gone up to like 40 different different versions.
Okay, yeah, before you got the final.
Where you're just fine tuning and tweaking little ingredients or percentages. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So we have one more thing to add and then we'll be done. We're just gonna stick this on here. And we're going to add just one more polymer. It provides like a really nice velvety, silky feel, and it also stabilizes the emulsion.
Okay.
And that's really important because you don't want your product to fall apart, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to put it in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I usually just kind of go like this.
Oh, I'm gonna.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
pour
Okay.
it in. This is messy, but you can kind of use this to push it in too. It's messy, but all of these ingredients are great for your skin.
Yeah.
So
It's so interesting. I mean, this is like an ingredient that is on the label that people, they have no idea like what. It's so interesting how all this stuff is made. Do you want to get this, scrape out the rest?
sure, do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure. Just use this?
Yeah. So after we put, after we find the right combination of ingredients and put everything together, we run stability testing, which is we'll take the product and we put it in a glass jar as well as the package that we wanted it to be in, and we basically cook it. We put it in a 40 degrees Celsius oven and a 50 degrees Celsius oven, and we're basically kind of watching to see how it breaks down, when it breaks down, if it breaks down. We obviously would love for it not to break down, but some emulsions tend to separate, and so it's really important to do stability testing to ensure that you have a stable product.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just mixing it all.
It is mixing it. You can see it kind of goes through a phase. It's starting to hydrate, so it's getting like a little bit clumpy, and then I'm turning up the speed on the mixer, so I'm giving it a high shear, which will, it eventually will smooth out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Super cool. And then that's going to be like the final product then? That's
Yes.
Okay.
This is our dermal contour press serum. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can see it's like totally smoothed out. Here in the lab, this can take anywhere from, it depends on the size of our batch. We have a really small size batch right now. So this can take 15, 30 minutes. But larger sizes can take, you know, up to a couple hours.
To smooth out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in manufacturing. You want to try that?
Yeah, so this is the dermal contour press serum right here. So this is what you guys see when it comes to you, and this is literally how it starts right here. So cool, and you can see it's literally exactly the same thing. So cool, I love this serum so much. Oh my gosh.
It's
So
really nice.
interesting. So then basically, so to get to the final product, so you do all the formulations, you are the one that, you know, puts all the ingredients together, tests everything, does all the trial and errors. So you make the batches, you perfect every single Sente formula, and then what do you do from here? You send the formulations for production?
So after we have a finished formula here, we run our stability testing, and once it passes our stability testing, then we transfer the formula to scale up and to our contract manufacturers, where they take the product and they make it in giant tanks that are sometimes like half the size of this room here.
Yeah.
So then they take the product and they fill it, and then that's where we get this nice, beautiful product.
Gets packaged and shipped out? And
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So cool. So that's awesome. I mean, that we just saw how this contour serum, you know, start to finish, that's how it works right here. The Sente Lab. Thank you so much, Grace. It was so good talking to you and learning about all this stuff. It's so interesting. This is something that I'm like just so fascinated with. I love like ingredients and formulating and all that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was great.